Thank you, Beth, and thank you all for being here. I've been thinking a lot about Mason and his family lately. He joined the United Way reading room when he was 4, and prior to that, he had not had access to formal early learning education, and his parents, Roxanne and Junior, maintained 2 jobs and shared 1 car, so that even the ability to drive to a location was not theirs. But Mason thrived, even reading 44 books with a partner that year, thanks to the Patterson Foundation-led Summer Reading Challenge. He continued joining his friends in the reading room over the years, and he brought his sister, Kylie, and his other sister, Scarlett Rose. The trajectory of their lives are forever changed, thanks to the Suncoast Campaign for grade level reading, and you. But in our communities, we're not about changing the trajectory of just one child or one family. We want to change the trajectory for every family. We're not celebrating tossing one starfish into the ocean while others lay motionless on the shore. We want to change the future for all. And United Way Suncoast believes that everybody deserves equitable access to opportunities to create the life they imagine. We act on that belief by partnering with businesses, nonprofits, government, media, and community. That means you. And we focus on the intersection of early learning, youth success, and financial stability, because we know that's the best way to ensure that people have the freedom to rise. As a community, we have focused on the importance of grade level reading. We have shared data on the existing challenges and reviewed studies on what the future holds for children who read on grade level by 3rd grade. We know the value of investing early. We know the tangible returns for our children. We know the improvement we'll see in the community. We know these things. And that knowledge must keep our eyes focused on the prize for Mason and all the Masons and amazing families with amazing children in our community. We have to keep pushing forward, even amid a global pandemic, even as challenges persist, even amid the successes that demand even more. We push forward because, in the words of Manatee County Commissioner Bellamy, shameless plug for the Freedom to Rise podcast, he joined me and he mentioned that we have to work to define and maintain a presence in the problem. That's why we continue to focus on finding the untold stories, engaging in tough conversations, developing and encouraging new points of view, and creating opportunities within this crisis of early learning and grade level success. We cannot be afraid to admit when plans go awry. 2020, 2021, anybody? We need to be relentless in holding ourselves, personally and professionally, accountable for celebrating incremental change and digging deeper to understand and overcoming existing and emerging barriers. Deborah Jacobs has shared many times that we are in a marathon, not a sprint. I like that because big changes, most of the time, come in increments. The runners who compete in the famed Boston Marathon don't just celebrate the finish line, they celebrate reaching each of the 8 cities in rural Massachusetts, all along the route. They celebrate avoiding stumbles on the fast downhills and overcoming the soul-crushing inclines like Heartbreak Hill. We have to do the same. Celebrate each step of our marathon while realizing more inclines are ahead. It's critical that we move forward with the same perseverance that runners display, the same conviction and courage, because our children are counting on us to get it right. In the past year, we have intentionally engaged our Coalition of the Willing with laser focus on learning and listening before acting. And when we do act, we do so together. Behind me is a list of the many ways we are engaged with the 4 Ps: people, place, policy, and practice. We are grateful for our advisory council in Manatee and our coalition in DeSoto. And we recognize that our strategic community partners and neighborhood community leaders are invaluable and strategic and focused on ensuring success for lifetimes. Thank you, and thank you. The classic definition of foundation is an underlying base of support. That base is strongest when everyone contributes, and we have that within our council and our coalition. From Manatee Community Foundation continuing to lead and support our first community school at Manatee Elementary, to the school district growing its award-winning Soarin' 4 program and engaging the community, to the Early Learning Coalition, chronicling the story of our youngest learners and working to eliminate their barriers, to Manatee County government, which granted greater access to public library resources and provided grants that seek to boost grade level reading, to All Faiths Food Bank in DeSoto, providing nutritious snacks throughout the community, 12,000 backpacks throughout the summer, the Florida Department of Health in DeSoto building home libraries with 700 books through their WIC, Women, Infants, and Children office, and Dive Into Reading volunteers, reading with and mentoring students while investing in their libraries at home. And then there's the work of United Way Suncoast, your work, together with us in community. We proudly launched our Quality Childcare Initiative in DeSoto and Manatee. Our reading rooms continue to provide access to early learning where families live, and our United for Literacy kits are now serving 12 locations in our community, giving more children and the adults in their lives access to the science of literacy and making it fun. And thanks to our community, we invested in 19 strategic community partners that served 42,450 households. And we also launched, as I mentioned before, our Freedom to Rise podcast. It's an opportunity to delve deeper into policy and strategy. Under policy, on the chart, I have added 3 significant bills that passed this session. We're not taking ownership of those passing. That's a community and a statewide effort. But many leadership organizations and individuals throughout our state are working hard to ensure that changes we make are lasting for future generations. By focusing on people, place, policy, and practice with our coalition of the willing, together we can continue to build greatness for Mason and all of our children and families.
From a United Way perspective, my recommendation to all of you, as you represent some of the most significant business interests in the state, there should be conversations about how the business community is supporting families, the families of their employees. And I think it's something that hopefully the United Way start to get behind.
I think this place is better than any other place I've been to because this is the most help I've ever had.
What's a typical day like at the La Mirada Reading Room?
Reading, we play games, we discuss about our emotions.
I go to a lot of places and this is the place that most helps me with all of my struggles.
You know that some of the youth that struggle with the resources, how can you help that? How can you be present within the problem? And when I was invited to read to the youth, I made it fun.
You know, the students in our schools in Manatee and Sarasota counties are the children of business owners. They're the children of all the employees at our local businesses. And so, all the way around, we have a vested interest in ensuring that we have the strongest districts we possibly can have. And that takes community investment.
Each school needs that extra push because of the funding. So when other corporations like United Way pops in, oh my gosh, it's such a benefit.
I had hope that this could get done. I didn't see why it couldn't get done. Hope is what kept me going because I stepped out there and said, we're going to renovate this building and we're going to have kids involved. Before I even did the hardwood training, I had given people hope.
And there's, again, research to support that the more books in the home, the better the opportunity for family literacy and child literacy. But teaching parents how to read to their child, even if maybe they're not comfortable reading aloud, even talking through how to look at a picture, look at the pictures of the book together and have a dialogue. It's an opportunity to promote attachment, bonding, those just nice cuddle times. That's been a really big push. I think for coalitions across the state.
The donations that we've had this year have been really helpful. Like I said, financially, COVID is taking a toll on a lot of early childhood centers. And even just the support of somebody saying, hey, you're doing a good job and we're really proud of you. It kind of really, boosts the morale in a lot of centers where it might be like, oh my gosh, why? This is getting really hard. Times are not easy. So any and all support that you guys give, it really goes a long way.
I feel like when I come from school and I come here, I feel kind of stressed. But when Miss Mercedes helps me, I feel calm and I feel relaxed.
United we rise, united we win. Onward.